Oh, this man just hit me in my face with a brick, and all these black men just watch, and they don't give a. Yeah, this man hit me, grabbed a rock, and he hit me in my face because I would have given him my number. And all y'all just watch. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? What y'all do? I want y'all to be a man. I want y'all to be a man. Do something. Y'all gonna let a man hit me in my face? Have I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this? I never did anything in my life to hurt anybody. Literally, a man asked me for my number. I said no, and he picked up a brick in front of so many men and was like, "What you gonna do?" And I told all these men, like, "Yo, why this man got a brick on my face?" And he's holding a brick, and all these is watching, and nobody does nothing. And he hits me in my face, and they all just watch, and they let that get in a corner. How is this okay? This is what y'all doing to women?
We finally hear from one of the guys who was there when the girl got hit by the brick for not giving her number up.
I was one of the guys who was there that did not help her when she was getting hit with the brick, right? I feel like people need to know the whole story before they start commenting and say things they don't understand or they don't know. You guys don't even remember who you guys are trying to defend, who you guys are trying to speak up for. This is the same woman that was going around smacking white people in the streets. She's not innocent. She was actually taunting the guy to hit her. Why would I go defend somebody that's actually looking for trouble?
Okay, so I have received so many DMs asking me if I'm going to talk about this story, and I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys. I sat here and I weighed my mind if I even wanted to speak about it, because I feel as though in the topic of this particular situation, it can come across as very insensitive. So before I even get into my thoughts, my views, what this young man had to say, like everything else, I just want to say that in no way, shape, or form can I fathom what would make sense for somebody to literally, especially a man, to, harm this woman with a brick. Like, can I find the logic in that situation? I cannot. Do I think that it is absolutely absurd for a man to do that in general, whether it was to another man, to a woman, to a dog? Like, I think it's absurd. Obviously, this person has some kind of problems, whether they have anger problems, mental health issues, maybe they were intoxicated. I'm not sure, but that is clearly not a logical thinking person to do that in the spit of, anger for whatever reason. Okay, that is literally to the extreme. That is not, we get into a verbal altercation and now, this is the way to justify whatever situation. I'll never stand behind that. I don't condone any type of violence, regardless, period. But that don't make no sense to me. And also, it's a very serious situation. I know that woman had a concussion. Like, that's such a big deal. Like, that's a very serious situation. And I do want to talk about the fact that I am extremely aware of the severity of the situation. Like, that's extremely scary, especially, again, like, your brain is in your head, your jaw, that's crazy. So I want to get that out of the way. I don't want nobody thinking I'm having any kind of justification, because I am not, okay? I'm going to say it probably a couple of times throughout this video. This is not a justification for what this person did. I think that person is that's extreme. And if they find that person, the law should be able to work with that person and, do whatever they feel or whatever they see fit to do. That's my opinion. Okay. Cause that's insane. That sounds like a crazy person on the loose. Okay. But I did want to have this conversation in terms of, what this young gentleman said, and as well as when we watched the video. in watching the video while she's talking and while she's panning the camera around, to me, the first thing that popped up in my mind was that all of these, men that are standing around her all looked relatively young. Right? I did not see in that video, as well as this young man speaking, anybody who looked like they were like, mid to late 30s, 40s, like, these big men. They all looked like they were like maybe in their early 20s. And, not that necessarily has anything to do with the quote unquote protection that she's calling out for, but she looks like she is, pretty older than this crowd of men that were standing around her. And I think that, in any case, looking for people who do not know you to step up to the plate to cover you or quote unquote protect you in a situation that they might not know 100%, the backstory of, is a little bit of entitlement. I'm just going to be honest. Because you are looking around to these people who are standing around you and saying, I'm expecting you to, take a foot forward, step up for me, protect me, cover me, have my back with this person who was clearly a lunatic. I am looking for you to risk your life for me, even though you don't know me, just because I am a woman. And I have to say it, we live in the day and age that this is not necessarily what we're going to find. Now, I also want to say that I find that it is more likely that men are actually prone to protect women, to stand up for women, to intervene when another man is around. However, we are in a day and time that men have taken situations, taken note of it, and saying, okay, I am not going to do X, Y, and Z because I don't want to deal with the repercussions of standing up for someone or protecting someone and then that person flipping on me, or even worse, standing up for somebody and being a quote-unquote hero for someone that I don't know, leaving my own family naked, as in without protection. It's insane to see that, women are stepping forward and they are, talking about all men because of this one particular situation. Like I've seen in the comment sections on TikTok, on, Instagram, everywhere, everybody is trying to make a spectacle of all men and how all men are scary and they're violent and they're this and they're that. They're making a whole synopsis of what all men do and how all men are and how all men, would not protect women off of this one particular situation. Off of this one lunatic. It's baffling to me. They're covering a multitude of all men because of this one situation. But the minute that you see multiple women doing a specific thing and you talk about women will be, oh, but that's not all women. Well, you need to clarify because you talking about all women are not like this. I did a video recently and I was talking about, a certain type of single mother. In that same video, I also talked about how all single mothers are not created equally. I still had women in the comment section, oh, well, not all single mothers because, So when it's women, you want to justify and you want to say, oh, okay, not all women are like this, or not all single women do that, or not all women do this, or not all women do that. But when it's a man, you say all men are bad because of what one man did. That doesn't make sense. I want to get to what this gentleman said. So he said that he was one of the men who stood back and watched. This was actually, he had a whole lot more to say in the video. And he was saying that he stood back and he watched, and from their area, wherever it is that they live, this woman is known to be causing a ruckus like within their community. I did see that, years ago on her social media that she was walking around and she was slapping Caucasian men in their faces while she's walking down the street, and she thought it was funny. And like, she's literally like, whether it's a hard slap, whether she's swinging her hand all the way back and bringing it forward, regardless, she was walking down the street assaulting people and called it quote unquote reparations, which is again insane. Because, yes, this is not the equivalence of you hitting these men with a brick, but it is an equivalence of violence. But a lot of times we see women who are in situations, and what they will do is they will say, oh, well, I'm not stronger than you, so it couldn't hurt you. Well, I'm not stronger than you, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Well, what are you going to do? Be a girl? What are you going to do? Be a woman about it? Like, it's not that big of a deal. You're a man. Suck it up. But then when those tables turn, and unfortunately, sometimes you're not in control of how that table is going to turn. You're not in control of the intensity or the magnitude. But when you're putting that energy out there, and unfortunately it spins the block on you, then it's like, oh my gosh, I can't fathom. I don't know what I ever did. I don't understand. This is so unfair. This is so this is so that. But as women, okay, I'm saying this out of love. We have to be able to be accountable for our actions. Not just today. Not just I'm doing this right now, but a lead up of actions. Be responsible for the way that we are articulating ourselves to men in general. Be responsible for the way that we are carrying ourselves. Be responsible for our reputations. We have to. Because if this man who was standing there, just think of this. This is a man who was standing there who is an observer, okay? This is what he said allegedly. I don't know why he would come on here and lie if he wasn't really there. But he is saying, oh, we already knew who she was. We already know what she's about, and we don't get involved in her foolishness. So because of her reputation of the past, though it technically had nothing to do with what happened in that exact moment, it is the reason why many men did not step forward, because they say, we see how you talk about us. We see how you treat other men. We see how you prance around, talking about, patriarchy, men are beneath us, we don't need them. We see how you delve into these things. And so we are not going to be prone to hand over our own safety, our protection over to you because of the way that we see you move. I personally, just being genuinely honest, I personally have seen, situations, whether it's on social media or wherever, where men have tried to step in the gap for women. And they have, whether it's lost their life or gone to jail, literally have been imprisoned. We saw the case with the, I believe it was with the football player and his girlfriend. She got into a verbal altercation with her boyfriend at the time. She called her brothers. One of her brothers is sentenced to, I believe, the rest of his life in jail. And one of her brothers is no longer around. Because they were trying to do the masculine thing and intervene for her in a situation. Men have seen it time and time and time again. And, I saw that it was going on social media that she had made a post a long time ago that men are not natural leaders or natural protectors. And it's ironic because, people were saying, oh, all the people who are bashing or trying to justify, which I am not justifying. Again, let me just make that clear. I am not justifying the actions of a lunatic. I'm not doing that. Again, anybody who picks up a brick and hits anybody, anything, in a fit of anger, you need to be up under somebody's jail. Okay? Because that don't make no sense. Because you taking it real, that's far. That shows that you have no self-control. That's scary. But this woman that was hit with the brick, she was saying, oh, that men are not natural leaders and protectors, and other women were saying, oh, all these people are just proving her point. And in actuality, I find it ironic because men are actually natural leaders and protectors. That is something that is innately within them. They naturally are going to run to the aid of somebody, or you can see even on TikTok, you see a lot of baby compilations of like maybe a baby like about to fall over and hit the floor, or like a baby riding a young kid riding a bike and the bike tips over, and you always see a man in action, whether he holding the baby by one foot, whether he holding the kid by an arm. Like innately, it is within them to protect. But what's also extremely innate in men? Logic, not emotion. Not that they're not emotional at all, because they are, but logic is one of those strongest components within a man. So before he moves off of feelings, oh, I feel bad, oh, I feel this, oh, I feel that, logically he is saying, okay, how is this situation possibly going to play out? What angle am I going to be in when this situation is playing out? What would make sense for me to do in this situation? Should I stand in the gap or in the way for this person? And I'm going to take it a step further based on the words of the man who was actually, physically there, as he stated. If it is true that she was taunting this man to physically harm her, okay, if that is true, I have to say if because I was not there. He said he was there. I don't even know if he was there. Okay, I'm just going off of what he says. I don't know him. But if that is true, and you have men who are on the sidelines who are watching how you are interacting with another man and taunting him, they're saying, okay, she didn't try to de-escalate the situation. She didn't try to tone it down. She's not doing anything, out of the ordinary. She's not trying to go toe-to-toe with this man. Hey, bro, what you doing? Chill out. If they are seeing you engage in a verbal argument with this man, if they are seeing you curse this man out, if they are seeing you, act in a certain manner, they're going to look at it like, oh, I'm not getting involved with that foolishness. Because I'm not about to go over there and now she start taunting me and now she trying to tell me I don't want to deal. It is very common that when you see a woman who is standing there and she is like, no, no, I don't want a problem, or, no. And she is calmly trying to de-escalate a situation, that other men will not step in and protect her. Men are prone to being like, oh, wait, we need to pull him off. We need to do this. I think it's crazy too, right? I think it's also very crazy that people are hearing and about this situation and talking about this video, and they have it in their mind that men they would not want to, or they won't naturally, they don't have it in them to try to calm the man down even if they don't interact with the woman. That's just crazy to me. Now, again, we are in a certain stage, like I said before, that men are way more cautious when it comes to stuff like that because they understand the severity and the magnitude. But also, if everybody is of a certain community and maybe people even know him, even maybe not these strangers, but maybe whoever he came with or his friends will be like, yo, bro, chill, relax. She said she want to give you her number, bro. Especially, again, if the woman is trying to de-escalate the situation. A lot of women lean on this, oh, I'm independent. I got to handle things on my own. Men are beneath me. Anything a man could do, I could do it better. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me this. You can't tell me that. They're so used to emasculating men that when they actually get in front of a man, they just reach to what they're used to. And so they throw out the emasculating tactics. They throw out the disrespect. They say all the things that they would say on social media about men to their face. And they think that every person is created equally. There's no one that's crazy in the world. There's no one that, is a little bit unhinged. Everybody's bulb is on. There's always somebody home. They really think that there's not a possibility that somebody somehow, some way might be a little crazy and might react to the things that you're saying to them in a very awful manner. Because a lot of women are so used to being on social media and reading men for filth, but because they're behind the phone and because they're not really in front of these men, they can say everything that they want to say and there's no repercussion for it. But as women, I'm hearing other women saying to this woman, oh, girls, we got to be careful when we go out. Girls, we got to make sure that we do this. Girls, we got to be on guard. Girls, we got to be ready. But how about girls? We got to be careful with how we articulate ourselves in public. Girls, we have to be careful how we try to go toe to toe with a man. Girls, we have to be careful the way that we are, portraying ourselves to these men whenever, they say something to us. No, we can't just be talking about how, oh, you ugly. I don't want to be with you. Who you think you is? Oh, how dare you think you have a time with me? A lot of women, equate, and I'm not saying this woman in this particular video, but a lot of women equate rejection to disrespect. They feel like, rejecting a man means I got to go full throttle and disrespect him to the utmost. Just because, again, I am woman, hear me roar, I'm above you. It's not the same thing. Everybody ain't sane. Everybody is not sane. This is just my opinion, okay? This is my opinion. A lot of people ask me for my opinion on this video. This is my opinion. I really do still feel bad for this woman. I genuinely do. I mean, I also think that she probably needs to take a break from social media, because I'm pretty sure if you have a concussion, you screaming in the phone and you're so irate and your emotions are high and your stress level is high, that could be very detrimental to your healing process. But I think that this leads to a deeper conversation that's necessary for us to have. Genuinely. If you're going out, whatever the situation is, you cannot be assuming that other people are going to step out on the brink for you. That's entitlement. That is assuming that people will always come to your aid. Somebody will always help you. Somebody will always support you. You have to be preventative in your measures. You have to. You have to be cautious of the moves that you're making. You have to. You can't just be out all, willy-nilly stepping, going here, going there, doing all these things, being around all these people, and then still get rowdy, allegedly. And you have no one else with you, or, you don't have any backative. That's not logical. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I could go on and on and on with this video. I probably should have done a live stream to talk about this so that we could have had the dialogue together. Because it's so there's so many different facets to this conversation, so many different avenues that we can go down. But I'm not gonna have you here all day. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear you guys' genuine thoughts and feelings and opinions on this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.